Hey guys, today we're going to learn about the clock. So if you have not already watched the video that's in this Google Classroom assignment, go watch the video first, because that's the first thing I want you to hear about clocks. So if you haven't watched the video yet, press pause. It's like a little YouTube video, the basics of a clock. Okay, I want you to watch that first, because it tells you lots of important things about the different parts of a clock. Okay. Caroline is my clock holder today, my trusty clock holder. So Caroline's going to hold this with two hands. All right, so in that little video that you watched, you learned that there are two different hands on a clock. So on this clock, this red hand is shorter than the blue hand. The red hand always tells you the hour that it is. So if it is 1 o'clock, then 1 is the hour. It's always the little hand that will be pointing to the hour, okay? The big blue hand, on this clock it's blue, the blue hand tells you the minute, okay? So if the minute is pointing up, straight up to the 12, then it's always something o'clock. All right, so the minute is o'clock. It's 0 minutes. Now, my little red hand is pointing to the 1. So it is 1 o'clock right now on this clock. It is 1 o'clock. That is called the analog time. The analog time is on a clock like this. Cal, can you hold it up a little bit? See that bar? It has to be above that bar. So if I want to say that it's 1 o'clock, I could also write it like this. 1 with the 2 dots, 0, 0. That's 1 o'clock. Okay? And then one more way I can write it, and it's not, I'm just going to do it down here. I could write it like this. 1 o'clock. Like that. And there's that little apostrophe. 1, the letter O, apostrophe, clock. And we know how to spell clock. We know that it has a CK digraph at the end because it has a short O sound. And then it has a CL blend at the beginning. So 1 o'clock. Now, let me show you what happens as time passes. All right, so Caroline, you're going to hold this nice and still while I turn. So as time passes, this minute hand will move. And now this minute hand moves much faster than this hour hand. So 1 hour takes 60 minutes. Every one of these little lines is a minute. So this guy in 1 minute would move that far. And then another minute, and another minute, and another minute, okay? And then as this blue minute hand is moving all around the clock, this hour hand is also moving very, very slowly. You usually can't even notice it moving. So it takes 60 minutes or 1 hour for this blue minute hand to get all the way back. Can I see it for a second? Sorry. Around the clock. I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing. It's actually a little easier if I hold it. So that it looks like that. So look, this blue hand is back right where it started. And now the red hour hand, it's not pointing at the 1 anymore now. It's pointing at the 2. Caroline, what time is it now?
It is 2 o'clock.
How do you know?
Because 1 o'clock, the hour hand is pointing to the 1. And then if the minute hand goes around the clock 1 time, then the hour hand also moves to the 2, so then it would be 2 o'clock.
Right, so 1 hour has passed. It moved from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And here are all the ways I can see 2 o'clock. Okay, so this is 2 o'clock on an analog clock. This is 2 o'clock digital. This is 2 o'clock written form. So just like we write our number words, that's how we write our time in numbers. Okay, so you saw 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Caroline's going to change it and make it something else o'clock.
Okay.
Don't do 12. Okay, I'll hold this. Caroline's going to change it. She's going to surprise you, and then you are going to have to figure out what time it is. Okay, fine. All right, go ahead, turn it around. So now lots and lots and lots of hours have passed in your brain, right? You imagine that? Now, what do you notice? Hold it up. I notice that minute hand is back right up, pointing at straight up in the air. So I noticed that my hour hand moved from the 1 to the 2, and now it's moved all the way to the 9. So what time do you think it is? It's not 1 o'clock anymore. It's not 2 o'clock. Now it is. Did you say 9 o'clock? If you said 9 o'clock, then you are absolutely right. That little hour hand is pointing at the 9. Caroline's going to change that for us. Good job. So she changed it to 9 o'clock. All right, boys and girls, if I want to make my clock say 6 o'clock, what do you think needs to change on here? 6 o'clock. While you are making a prediction about what will change, Caroline's going to change the clock to 6 o'clock. Yeah, I know. She's trying. Okay, you got it?
It's hard to move.
I know. All right, so hold it up nice and high. What time is the clock at now? Did you say that the hour hand needs to point at the 6 and the minute hand needs to keep pointing straight up in the air? You are correct. It is now 6 o'clock. So I will change that to 6. I will change this to 6. 6 o'clock. All right, I want to show you one more time before I say goodbye to you for today. So I'm going to have Caroline keep holding that. I am going to move it, and we're imagining that both of these hands are moving around and around and around, and that lots of time is going by, and now both of my hands, you can't even see my red hand anymore, but I promise it's under there. It's right under there. Both of my hands are pointing up at the 12. What time do you think it is? It's 12 o'clock. It is 12 o'clock now when both hands are pointing straight up in the air on a clock. 12 and 12 o'clock. There we go. Okay, so that is your first lesson on time, boys and girls. You are going to be completing a Google Slides assignment where you need to match the times with the clocks. Okay, so I want you to have fun with that. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.